So, you're thinking of moving to Palm Coast, Florida, and you're not sure if you're the only one? That's what we're going to talk about in today's video. We're going to take a look at Florida's migration, see how many folks are moving here, what might be causing them to move here, and then of course I'll add in some specifics about what's happening here in Palm Coast. So if that sounds like something you're interested in, stay tuned because we're going to get after it right now. Thanks for joining us today. My name is Stephanie Schulis. I'm with Keller Williams Realty, and if this is your first time to the channel, please make sure to tap the button below to subscribe, hit that bell for notifications, and you'll be the first to be notified every time we put out new content all about Palm Coast, Florida living and moving to Palm Coast, Florida and the surrounding areas. We get calls, texts, and emails from people just like you looking to make the move to Palm Coast, Florida, and we absolutely love it. So whether you're looking to make the move in the next 9 days or 90 days, give us a call, shoot us a text, send us an email, and we'll do everything we can to help you make a smooth move to Palm Coast, Florida. Today we're talking all about Florida's migration. Florida is one of the more popular places to move to in the United States. In fact, there is an estimated 1,200 people moving to the state every day. That's a lot of people. So let's dive in and take a look at that. The net migration in Florida is a little over 444,000 people. Specifically, that's 318,000 people moving to Florida from other states, and another 125,000 people moving to Florida from an international destination. In fact, international relocations in Florida make up about 30%. Of course, moving to Florida isn't anything new. Florida's been a big popular destination for folks looking to relocate for a long time. However, we have definitely seen a large spike, as have many southern states, since the pandemic. One of the common things I hear when I put out videos like this is, we don't need more people. Stop moving to Florida, stay out of Palm Coast. And when you look at the data, that's not true. Florida actually has a very strong need for migration to the state. Florida needs migration to the state. It's an uncomfortable topic to talk about, but the annual death rate in Florida is 260,000 compared to an annual birth rate of around 220,000. That means we have more folks dying in the state of Florida than being born in the state of Florida, which means an overall declining population. Declining populations are, of course, never a good thing for an economy. You have declining populations that lead to decreased consumer demand, shrinking population in a smaller labor force, fewer skilled laborers, businesses struggle to find qualified folks. It of course impacts tax revenues. Obviously the real estate market is affected. Social services, healthcare, things like that all get negatively impacted by declining populations. So Florida as a state does need to have a strong migration track record. Sorry, native Floridians. So why are folks moving to Florida in particular, and why Palm Coast? There was a recent article published through Gravy Analytics that provides kind of some insight into why people are moving to the places that they're choosing to move. And I thought we can go through those and check off the ones that we think apply here to Florida and Palm Coast. The very first thing that they talk about in this article is that people are moving to areas with lower cost of living. Palm Coast checks that box. People want to live where they vacation. Palm Coast is a vacation destination. People who work remotely are taking advantage of that flexibility. So that means that folks that maybe have an office up in Jacksonville or Orlando are looking to Palm Coast as a better alternative to living in those areas, in terms of what they can get for housing, in terms of what the community here is like, and some of the perks that we have and know here in Palm Coast and love. So that one definitely checks for us. People choose to move for a lot of different reasons, and Palm Coast is absolutely an attractive place to move. If you're thinking about making the move to Palm Coast, Florida, you're not alone. If you already live here in Palm Coast, Florida, and you're maybe feeling a little frustrated with all the folks moving in here and all the growth that we're experiencing, remind yourself why you wanted to move here. And hopefully that can provide a little bit of understanding into why we're seeing the migration to Florida, and specifically here in Palm Coast and Northeast Florida. Of course, Florida has seen people leave the state as well. So I wanted to touch on some of the reasons why people are saying that they are moving out of the state. The first is the cost of housing. For those that have been here for a long time, you know that we've seen a surge in our housing prices. That may leave you feeling a little priced out. So you may be looking to move to other states where they haven't seen quite the appreciation that we've seen here in Florida. Insurance in Florida is getting more and more and more expensive and harder to find coverage on. That can be a problem for some and causes them to move out of the state. Both of those are obviously impacted by storms, and that can be enough for some people to want to leave the state. More and more people are coming here, and that's not attractive for some people. Some people want their quiet, their reserved spaces, and Florida's changing, and that's just makes Florida not a fit for some people anymore, and so some folks are leaving just because of the volume of migration that we're seeing to the state. And then there is a group of people who are leaving for better economic reasons, like jobs and things like that. And then some folks are leaving because they don't agree with what's happening in Florida schools and the quality of education that they feel Florida is having in some areas right now. With all that being said, many more people are moving to Florida than moving away from Florida. And that should tell you something. Florida is an amazing place to live, and here in Palm Coast, I couldn't be happier. I moved here from out of state, and I have not looked back. It's a great place to be. So if you're thinking of moving to Palm Coast, Florida, you're not alone. Come on down. If you have any questions on what that move may look like, please make sure to leave a comment below. Reach out, send us a call, send us a text, send us an email, and we'll do everything we can to help. We'll see you on the next video.